Hi friends, Itheria here, and today I'm talking about Endwalker. I finished the MSQ yesterday, which was Sunday the 12th, I think. Finished around like 10 p.m. at night. I started playing a couple days after the pre-order launch because I was doing my Sage. I wanted to play through as a Sage, so I got that to 81st. That took me a couple days. And then I went for the MSQ and I did not do anything else except ether currents because I couldn't help myself. And yeah, so now here we are. I will say I won't spoil anything in this video. I'm gonna try and kind of like, I'm not like critiquing it, but you can kind of think of this video as that. I'm gonna talk about like factors, like what makes the story good rather than like the actual plot. So yeah. If you do want my opinion on Endwalker and how I felt about it, well, I happened to screen record my entire playthrough. I did have some little oopsie boopsies along the way, but aside from those oopsie boopsies, there's hours and hours and hours of footage. So just know that if I do not get too overwhelmed, it will take me time to get through all that footage before I can upload a video. I'm thinking of doing a like long highlights video and then maybe some smaller ones. We'll see what happens, okay? I might run out of patience, I might get overwhelmed, I might get intimidated, I might have a mental breakdown because there's so much footage. But with all that said, let's just talk about Endwalker without spoilers. So first of all, I absolutely, positively adored this expansion. The story was phenomenal, and I have plans to play it again soon. Like, literally, I want to get my healers to 90, maybe, like, play some trials, maybe get into the extremes, and then I just want to play it again. I don't even know if I want to do anything but play it again. It was that good. And the other thing is, I feel like once you play all the way through, you'll understand why I'm saying this, but I feel like there's so much that it's easy to miss stuff, and that also after you play to the end, you have like a new understanding of the story because everything gets revealed to you. So it makes you kind of want to like play it over. It honestly makes me want to play the entire game over, but first I want to play probably Endwalker itself over and then maybe go back to the start. But yeah, it definitely makes you want to do it again just because not only was it incredible, but you feel like you might pick up on some other crumbs, some other hints early on in the story that you didn't until you went through the story. So yeah, I definitely want to play it again because it was so good. It was so good. So the story was incredible, but this is a video game, right? So it's not just the story that we have to experience. There's really so much more to it. And some of the things I was excited about were the new maps. And trust me, they did not disappoint. All of the new maps were really gorgeous. I thought they were designed very well, animated very well for the most part. I know some of you have something to say about some grapes, but overall, I thought the maps were really fantastic, and some of them were completely surprising too. That was the other thing that I loved about this was I knew about some of the maps we were getting because they told us in the live letter. They told us we were going to Charlan, they told us we were going to Thavnir, they told us we were going to the moon. But there's 2 more maps, okay? There's 2 more. So aside from the maps, another thing that stuck out to me a lot was the music. Now, some of you are going to be really upset to hear this, but I actually didn't listen to the music when I played like the entire game through Shadowbringers. And the reason why was, actually, I don't really even know. It was just something about like the music, especially in the zones or in like the cities, bugged me. So I always had my music off. And it was mainly that, was just like, if I'm sitting around in a city doing nothing, I don't need the music on. It really annoys me, to be honest. But I made an effort this time to leave the music on the entire time. And I am so glad I did. It was just, the music adds so much to the story that now when I hear the songs outside of the story, if I just went on YouTube and listened to one of the songs, I have emotions, okay? Because now the music is tied to my experience of the game. But not only is it tied in that way, like it literally itself added to the mood of what was going on. And they picked all of the songs and arranged them so well. They did such a fantastic job that it really took the story to the next level, their music choices. So 10 out of 10 there. There's some songs too that I totally want to like learn the lyrics to and sing just because I love them so much, but the music was also phenomenal. You're probably going to hear me say words like phenomenal and incredible and like stupendous throughout this. Another thing that was phenomenal was the voice acting. I don't think I have to say anything more. It was great. I listened to this in English because I'm an English speaker and I've grown fond of the English speaking voice actors. Another great thing about this expansion for the most part is the pacing. I feel like I would give the pacing like a 9 out of 10. So the reason I say this is because it has such a good balance. You know, there's these intense moments where your heart is like racing, you're on the edge of your seat, you're like just, everything is just very dramatic. But then after these moments, they usually will calm down and have you do quests that are a little bit more peaceful, that are much more laid back. They kind of like give you a breather. And so for the most part, I felt like the balance between these two things, the intense dramatic and the sort of calm breather moments, was really good. And the pacing of that was really good. There was only a couple moments in the story where I was like, okay, I think this has drawn on long enough. Give me back to the action. But overall, really loved it. You're probably noticing that this video is basically me praising the entire like team who created this story. But I have to say as well that you get like hints throughout, which is really fun because it allows you to like think, ooh, is this what's happening? I know. And some things you're totally going to be right about. You're going to be like, oh yes, I guessed that and I'm so correct. But then other things you're going to be like maybe like on the right track but still completely wrong, which is fun. Something I loved was that there was actually so many twists in the story. When I was talking about those maps, that's what I'm saying is like I had no clue that we would go to some of the places that we went. And not just like those places, just like all these plot points that you just never saw coming, but they make sense. It's not like you're blindsided by them. It's not like it's like, oh, why is this person here? Or like, why is this? It all makes sense. It all ties together, which is so fantastic that they could take us on a ride like this. And now, taking a look at the characters themselves. I'm not going to tell you about any of the new characters because, again, I don't want to spoil anything, but I felt like there was so many like funny moments between characters, some between characters that we already knew, and to me this helped kind of like deepen the characters even more and give you this sense of like, especially with the Scions camaraderie, which I think we already have. Like a lot of us already feel like we know the Scions and like they're our friends, but somehow they still managed to deepen their characters even more and make me love them even more. And that's true of some of the new characters they introduced as well. I thought they did a very good job of introducing some of the new characters and helping you get to know them and even causing you to care about them to the point that the plot, you know, will give you feelings. That's all I'm going to say on that. And finally, I want to talk about the dungeons because obviously this isn't just a story, it's a game. And for the most part, I thought they were pretty good. They went with the story really well. For the most part, the first playthroughs especially were really interesting and fun. Some of the dungeons, I've personally never been a huge fan of the dungeons in this game because I feel like they're kind of boring and grindy. Like, most of it is like you run through a bunch of mobs and you kill all the mobs and then you go to the bosses, and usually the bosses, once you have done it like one time and got the hang of it, they're just not that interesting to go through. But the trials are really good. I feel like the trials are like Eden level challenging, maybe even a little bit harder at least. I haven't done them all like twice. I've done them all once and I did a specific one twice, but I won't say which one because again, no spoilers. But I did feel like the difficulty level was pretty good, pretty challenging just off the bat. And then, like, you still did have to stay on your toes because even once you got the mechanics down and understood them, if you made a mistake, you could pretty easily die. So yeah, I really enjoyed how difficult those trials were. And then obviously there's going to be some extreme, there already are some extreme versions of those trials. So that was really exciting too, the fact that they added content that is fun and challenging. So we don't have to wait too long for the patches because we still have some stuff in front of us that is fun to do. So as I said at the beginning of this video, I just loved Endwalker. I loved it with every fiber of my being, and I just want to play it again. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm loving this, but I also want to, like, finish so I can do other stuff like get my other healers to 90. Why? Why did I think that? Me trying to grind the healers to 90 is nowhere near as fun as Endwalker was. All I want to do is play it again. Like, I'm serious. I just want to play it again. I'm like forcing myself at this point to do something other than play Endwalker again, because that's what I want to do. I want a new game plus and just do it again. That's what I want. And yeah, thanks so much for watching. Bye.